Hello everyone, our group presentation topic is Neuralink. Neuralink is operated by a group of exceptionally talented people who are engaged in creating the future of brain devices. The company focuses on developing devices that help people with various and inventing innovations that expand the abilities of individuals, community, and the world. In this presentation, we will introduce the introduction, leadership, ethical dilemma, options, decision, and suggestions. Next, let Jiang Miao introduce her part.
Hello everyone, I will introduce my part, leadership style. It is very difficult to analyze the leadership style of Mr. Musk by using one specific leadership style. As a leader, he is a founder and co-founder of many renewed organizations, where he played many roles and faced ups and downs. Elon Musk is both transformational leader and transactional leader. First, I will give an introduction of transformational leadership style and transactional leadership. The total consideration in transformational style is given to bringing the organization's effectiveness and innovation and transforming the business operations rapidly. The significant positive impact on followers is that they usually work in a highly competitive environment, enabling them to increase their competitiveness. On the contrary, working in a competitive environment, both experienced and inexperienced may feel stressed. As for transactional leadership style, transactional leadership focuses on building more influential organizations within the organization in which everyone should be disciplined and punctual strictly. It is clear that leaders motivate the employees either through punishment or by rewarding them through performance. So it created a vast, satisfactory environment for followers. But in this working place, initiative and innovation may get stuck in the traditional culture. Analysis of Musk leadership. Firstly, Mr. Musk has influence on the thought and beliefs of his employee, and he inspires his employees and encourages on their creativity and innovation. For example, he encouraged engineers to work 100 hours per week. Mr. Musk is able to communicate effectively with employees. Therefore, he can achieve his goals through employees' hard work. Also, Mr. Musk is always monitoring the working of his employees and give them direction and take corrective initiative. What is more, Elon Musk follows the transactional leadership style that helps him achieve short-term goals. The employees working in organizations are directed to achieve the goal at the priority in return for some reward. However, there are some negative sides of his leadership which should be pointed out. As for his introvert personality, Mr. Musk usually hides his emotions and his lack of communications and emotion intelligence. Okay, I'm finished my part. Welcome next person.
Okay, thanks, Mel Yang. Next, I want to talk about Musk's ethic dilemma in this section. First of all, we need to know what is ethic dilemma. An ethic dilemma is a situation in which a difficult choice must be made between two courses of action, either of which requires a violation of moral principles. Ethic behavior builds trust and respect, which are necessary for long-term business and personal success. In organizations, leaders are faced with ethic dilemma daily as they balance their ethic with the company's policies and practice. Elon Musk entered the field of brain-computer interfaces and established a new company, Neuralink. In August 2020, he held a press conference and released his brain-computer interface chip. He hopes that the implant will one day help people with quadriplegia control their smartphones, and may even make users feel some kind of telepathy. However, this research faces various problems, and Musk has fallen into an ethic dilemma. The first option is that if Musk chose to continue his brain chip research, this will cause some ethical issues, because this research requires experiments on the brains of animals and humans. Not only that, once the brain chip is put on the market, it will cause choice in the social order and trigger some currents. Therefore, the research has been questioned and opposed by all sectors of society. The second option is that if Musk chose to abandon this research, then the large amount of money and energy he invested in Neuralink will be nothing, and the employees of Neuralink will lose their job, which will adversely affect the field of brain-computer interface. In addition, some disabled people who have regained hope due to the Musk brain chip research are also desperate for this. Therefore, whether Musk chose to continue research or abandon research will face an ethical dilemma. Then how should he deal with this problem? Next, Hao Renjia will explain this issue.
Okay, we have talked about the big ambition of the Elon Musk to developing the brain chip. Well, in this project, he has not faced whether ethic dilemma or whether he should continue ambition. Firstly, even though the Elon Musk has unknown what are very many benefits to developing this brain chip because it can remotely many designs was is far to go. We all know the brain is very complex. The brain is far more than we know. The ambition of the Elon Musk is to bring well his project is complex, and Musk cannot achieve it. At this point, developing the brain chip might not harmful the brain and is unknown so far. This suggests that the Elon Musk project have some problem in this internal damage. For example, it's not known what her personal using this chip may land the brain damage. Chip is foreign object of their brain, so that is likely that their brain may not respond to negatively. Furthermore, the project may face the ethic dilemma in terms of the data security and privacy violation. For example, the parts of the brain chips can obtain the information of the user, including what they think about and his privacy information. Privacy violation and the security issues are important and big consider of the human beings. The developing of the brain chain, those human merit discussion because animal and humans being are used experiment and testing at this time. And the variety is a basic right human and animals. Furthermore, when chips are instilled into the brain, it may land damage in the personal well point in himself. To address in the dilemma, I think Elon Musk should prioritize that research does not have the harm of the human beings. Meanwhile, his company will strictly follow the ethic code, remind people that they should not use user data for anything. On the other hand, if Elon Musk abandons this project, it means he's wasted a lot of money and his great ambition of this project, and he will badly harm his ambition of the Elon Musk. For his investors, they will least trust Elon Musk because his project failed. Furthermore, brain development is one of the most important areas in recent years, and it feels this project will make these areas less attractive. Even if Elon Musk stopped the research, he should tell investors this has some funding and should be able to use research funding to provide investment is worth. For example, the brain chips study made use of computer society and AI. Okay, my part is over. Next, welcome the Chen Wenxin introduce her part.
And my part is impact of leadership within organizations. Musk's leadership has great impacts on Neuralink, especially concerning how to deal with ethical dilemma. On the one hand, Musk has been pioneering in developing new technologies to push the boundaries of science to help human development. On the other hand, Musk has been reported several times to conflict his concerns about threats to humanity posed by AI. Musk expects that AI will outpace human beings in future, arguing that the survival of mankind will be threatened by modern technologies more than by nuclear weapons. Overall, Musk seeks to find a way to achieve the coexistence of human with advanced AI, or AI symbiosis. And next, let's Yang introduce the suggestions.
Thanks for calling. Next, I will give 3 suggestions for Neuralink in terms of avoiding similar difficulties in the future. As a manager, understanding and practicing the ethical behaviors to meet the expected behaviors of the company is considered one of the main responsibilities. On the one hand, in order to avoid similar difficulties for businesses in the future, one of the most important things is to build a strong ethical culture into the Neuralink. There are 3 steps. Firstly, leaders must lead by example. Musk need to make communicating ethics as a priority, model good ethical behavior, provide information about what is happening in Neuralink to employees, and support them to follow the organizational ethical standards. With the support of such an ethical leader, employees would be impacted and to consider the ethical issues when making decisions. Secondly, Neuralink need to establish a code of ethics. The benefit of having a code of ethics is that it could provide Musk with specific guidance what is expected in terms of ethical behavior. A good example is Facebook, which has a code of ethics on its website. Each section contains detailed information information explaining how those topics govern Facebook's behavior. Thirdly, learning need to provide ethics training for their employees. Teaching business ethics help employees to improve their overall ethical behavior. Ethical training program can be offered by outside suppliers or developed by the Neuralink itself. For example, Global Learning System offers ethics training programs for all companies. This course is web-based and takes about 45 minutes to complete. In the program, employees can learn to recognize common ethical issues in businesses and techniques and to avoid the unethical behaviors that could harm themselves and learning. On the other hand, exploration regret in time is also an important way to avoid ethical dilemmas for learning. For example, Zendesk is one of the companies that help other companies to manage customers' relationships. Zendesk solved an ethical dilemma in 2010 when it raised its price. After some reflection from Zendesk's founders, they issued a sincere apology to their users and won the customers' forgiveness. Furthermore, in addition to the internal measures, effectively dealing with legal issues is also an important part of avoiding ethics in Neuralink. Choosing a lawyers for Neuralink is important to Musk, as lawyers will help Neuralink to build a solid legal basis and avoid the legal disputes and losses when ethical issues arise. That's my suggestion. Thank you for your listening. Next, Connie will give you the conclusion.
And in conclusion, Neuralink as a pioneering company must face ethical dilemma during the development process. To continue to develop, they would face increased ethical and crime risks. The leadership of Musk has great impacts on how Neuralink deals with its ethical dilemma. At present, Musk should make wise decisions as to solve the ethical dilemma in the right way. And we finished our presentation. Thank you for your listening. This is our reference.